Hi everyone, it's Lisa and welcome to Make It Monday. Today is week 23 in my series on techniques. Thanks for joining me. You're going to want to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of the upcoming techniques that I'll be teaching. Today I'm teaching the Bargello technique. It's been around for a long time, but I haven't seen much done with it lately, so I thought I'd give it a try. You're going to need to cut several strips of designer paper that color coordinate, and these are cut 3/4 of an inch wide. Now these are 6 inches long. I'm going to recommend at least that long, maybe a bit longer if you want to stagger and do some more different designs, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. Now I've cut 2 of each of these, again 3/4 inch wide. You're going to need a piece of computer paper, just something really thin that you can base this on, and then of course we can mount it on cardstock. I've done this several different ways, and I found not mounting it directly on my finished card was the easiest way. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to determine what pattern I want these to be in. Okay. Next thing you're going to do is begin to apply adhesive and to cover the copy or printer paper. I learned very quickly that it's very important that you put a lot of adhesive on here. I did try this with the Stampin' Up! Adhesive sheets by covering this, and I found it difficult to work with because it was so sticky. I didn't have much room for forgiveness. But I did find working in the portrait mode was the easiest way. So just go down and start covering up your copy paper. You're going to want to make sure that these pieces actually touch each other as they're getting laid. I have all of my strips now taped down. So what I'm going to do is use my paper trimmer or my scissors and cut off the raw ends that are here. Once that's done, you're going to want to make sure that you burnish this. Just make sure everything is stuck really well. You're probably going to have a small area, which I cut off already, that's going to not be the same width as what you need of the designer paper. That's fine because this is actually a 1/4 sheet and you're going to probably scale it down to fit your card front anyways. Now the next step is cutting it, and let me show you how to do that. You're actually going to want to turn it this way so that the paper now, the stripes are horizontal, but we're going to actually cut in rows. This is going to be different size strips. They don't have to be even. So using my black blade, I'm going to go in and cut the first one at a 1/2 inch. And maybe 3/4, and maybe another 1/2. And I'm just going to kind of vary these so they're not all the same. Okay, so that when you're done, you have your different panels. Now comes the technique and how we put it together. Now, if you haven't used enough adhesive, this is what's going to happen when you cut the strips in the opposite direction. There's a couple ways you can do this. I just work in with my snail adhesive and just cover it up, my little mistakes, and make sure that they're all down. Like I said, this is going to take a fair amount of adhesive. If you prefer to use the 2-way glue pen, that works very well. The next thing to do is to lay them out in a design. This is a 1/4 sheet of very vanilla cardstock. And now here are my strips. Now there's different variations that you can create. You can do a zigzag, you can do a pyramid where it goes up and down, or you can just do a random pattern. But you're going to notice that just by turning them, that one end is going to be the opposite of the other end. So just to give you an idea of layout, again, I would cover this with adhesive. Now this time you can put the Stampin' Up! Multi-Purpose Adhesive sheets on this piece of paper. And because these are thicker, you can lay them down. Personally, I prefer my snail adhesive, even though it's a little bit more laborious, but I found it was a little bit more friendly for me to use. So just to give you an idea, I would put adhesive on these, and then I would stagger these to create an interesting background. So you get the idea of how this is going to go. So once those are stuck down, you can give this a trim. On this one, I actually took this piece and I ran it through the Big Shot with the top note die, which gave me this patterned shape. And then I just added some stamped images and a couple rhinestones. That turned out really cute. Here I used the beautiful wings die with the Bargello effect to create the butterfly. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you next week for Make It Monday.